Do you know the time? Do you know what time it is? I can't remember it. I can't remember where I left my keys. I want them. I want what she's baking. Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Grammar Lessons. My name is Nushin and this is English Path. Today's lesson is about noun clauses. Okay, before we get started, I would like to thank you all for subscribing to my channel. I have just hit 1,000 subs on YouTube and I'm really happy about it. If you are not already subscribed to my channel, would you please subscribe to it by clicking that tiny little button in the corner? Thank you. All right, let's start off by making it clear what a clause is in the first place. A clause is a group of words with a subject and a verb that states something about that subject, like what she was wearing. She is the subject and was wearing is the verb that's stating something about she, the subject. It surprised everyone. Subject, verb. Who he talked to. He is the subject, talk to is the verb. I don't know. I is the subject and don't know is the verb. Now look at this one. People shopping in the mall. We do have a subject, it's people, but where's the verb? Shopping is not a verb, it's a gerund. If you don't know what gerunds are, you can watch this video right here. So this is just a phrase. It's not considered a clause. In general, we have two types of clauses. Independent clauses that are considered complete sentences and can stand on their own, like, I don't know, or it surprised everyone. You're not waiting for any more information to complete the sentence or the meaning. And two, dependent clauses. These cannot stand on their own and they need some more information to complete the meaning so that they can make a sentence together, like, what she was wearing. Okay, how was what she was wearing? What she was wearing did what? It's incomplete. It can't stand alone. Therefore, it is a dependent clause. Who he talked to. It's incomplete, can't stand alone, and therefore is a dependent clause. Now, what is a noun clause? A noun clause is a dependent clause that can be used instead of a noun. It plays the role of a noun. What roles do nouns play? Nouns can be subjects, objects, direct or indirect or object of a preposition, and subject complements. Noun clauses start with one of these words. You can replace a noun clause with a noun or a pronoun like somebody, something, it, she, him. I just told you that noun clauses start with one of these words, right? I also told you that you can always replace nouns with noun clauses. Jimmy's address is not on the list. Jimmy's address. What is Jimmy's address? Jimmy's address is the place in which he lives, right? So we're talking about a place. Therefore, we can replace it with a noun clause like this. Where Jimmy lives is not on the list, right? Jimmy lives at that address, right? In a home, in an apartment, in a house, whatever it is. So that place is where he lives. So where he lives is not on the list. Let's check if it is a clause. It has a subject, Jimmy, and the verb is stating something about Jimmy lives. So we're safe. It is a clause. It starts with one of these words, in this case, where, and it's used as a noun, as the subject of the sentence. Another example, I love her paintings. Her paintings are the things that she paints, right? So, what do I love? Her paintings. What are her paintings? Her paintings are what she paints. So, I love what she paints. This is a noun clause used as a noun, and the role is the object of the sentence. More examples. We talked about the way he succeeded. We talked about something, right? About is a preposition, and the way he succeeded is the object of the preposition. The way he succeeded is a way, right? So we talked about however he succeeded or however way he succeeded. Do you know the reason? The reason is why something happens. So do you know why he quit his job? Or do you know why he didn't join the meeting? You see, these are all the different forms you can use as noun clauses. That's why I've included them to introduce you to the structure. What is a solar eclipse? It's kind of like a solar eclipse right now. You can't see it in the video, but it's heavily cloudy and I think it's gonna pour down. So what is a solar eclipse? A solar eclipse is when the moon passes between the sun and the earth. So you know, it's a time when it happens, right? So to introduce a time, we use when. So it is when the moon passes between the sun and the earth. This noun clause, which is actually pretty long, is giving us more information about the subject, so it is the subject complement. Later in this video, I'm going to give you details on every single type. I'm just introducing them now using these examples. Another one, I'd like to know the person in charge of the project. So I'd like to know the person. Who is in charge of the project? Please tell me whose books these are. Please tell me who these books belong to, or tell me whose books these are. So the structure of a noun clause can be either of the two. It can start with a WH word, etc., like if, whether, however, etc., you know, all those words, plus the subject, plus an auxiliary. For example, who she is. Is both the auxiliary and the verb. Or, I don't know who she is talking to. So is the auxiliary and talking to is the verb. I don't know where she went. We don't have an auxiliary here, we just have a verb. And the second structure starts with a WH word or some other word plus a possible auxiliary and a verb. Like, I don't know who is in charge of the project. Or, I don't know who does something. I don't know who paints the walls. We don't have an auxiliary in that case. Okay, let's get more familiar with those words that start noun clauses. When you're using formal language, for people, use who or whoever when you're talking about the subject of the noun clause. You can replace that word with she or they if it is talking about the subject. Like, who or whoever took the pictures is a mystery. Somebody took those pictures, right? So a person took the pictures and that person is the subject. So she took the pictures. It works. They took the pictures. It works. Or we don't know who took the pictures. Who took the pictures? She took the pictures. I took the pictures. We took the pictures. We can replace it with subject pronouns. So we have to use who, or in this case, whoever. But for people, when you're talking about the object of a noun clause, you have to use whom or whomever. And in this case, you can replace whom or whomever with object pronouns like her or them. For example, whom you saw is the president. You saw someone, right? You saw someone. Someone is the object. You saw him. You saw her. So, whom you saw is the president. The president is whom you saw. The president is him, right? Is the person you saw. So whenever you're torn between choosing who or whom in an exam or in your speech or writing, just replace it with a subject or an object pronoun. If it works with the subject pronoun, you have to use who or whoever. If it works with an object pronoun, you have to use whom or whomever. And remember, that's about formal English. Can you guess what's been used? Blank, they arrested is not the actual criminal. They arrested someone, right? So that person is the object of the sentence. They arrested him. They arrested her. So, whomever they arrested is not the actual criminal. In informal language, on the other hand, you can use who to talk about both subjects and objects of noun clauses, like, we don't know who took the pictures. This one's talking about a subject, so we would use who anyway. But who you saw is the president. This is informal because we're talking about the object. You saw someone, you saw him, right? But in informal language, you can use who to introduce an object. Or the president is who you saw. Also in informal language, you can remove that when you're talking about the object of a noun clause. Like, I believe that he's making a mistake. I believe something. So the noun clause is the object of the sentence. So I can remove that. I believe he's making a mistake. It's 4 p.m. and it's May. And sunset is at 8 o'clock. But it's so cloudy, I had to turn on my lights. I think you could see in the previous footage that the TV was invisible because of the darkness. It was absolutely sunny when I started. Anyways, be careful with however, because it can also be used in adverb clauses to show contrast. Here, however she built the machine proves that she is a genius. So something proves that she is a genius, right? This is a noun clause, but she is a genius. However, she sometimes acts like she doesn't know the simplest things. This one's an adverb clause because it's showing contrast. Pay attention to the punctuation. If you need to know how to punctuate, however, you can watch my short video here. It's really useful. Noun clauses used as subjects of sentences. The subject of a sentence in the first place is a person or thing that does some action or represents a state. For example, their company manufactures electric cars. Who or what is the doer of the action here? Their company. We can replace it with a noun clause. Where they work manufactures electric cars. His novel is a bestseller. This is the subject of the sentence, and we can replace it with what he wrote is a bestseller. Whoever stole the car will be punished. Somebody stole the car, and that person will be punished, which is the subject of the sentence. Noun clauses used as objects. The object of a sentence is a person or thing on whom or which the action happens. For example, I knew it. I knew something. That thing is the object of the sentence. I knew that she was a genius. This is the direct object. A direct object is the person or thing on whom or which the action directly happens. Tell everyone the story. The story is what the action directly happens on. So the story will be told. That's the direct object, and everyone will just hear it. They will receive the action indirectly. So everyone is the indirect object, and we can replace it with whoever you know. Tell whoever you know the story. I'm thinking about the time. I'm thinking about something. The time is the object of the preposition about. I'm thinking about when I will leave. That's the time, when I will leave. The time has been replaced with a noun clause, which is the object of preposition. And this sentence can be restated this way. I'm thinking about when to leave. You can do this when the subjects of the main clause, the independent clause, and the noun clause are the same. They are both I in this case, so I'm thinking about when to leave. Or I don't know what I should wear. I don't know what I should wear. I don't know what to wear. She doesn't know what she should wear. She doesn't know what to wear. So what just happens is that you remove the subject, you remove the auxiliary, and then you just replace it with an infinitive, to plus verb. If you don't know what auxiliaries are, please watch this video. And if you don't know what infinitives are, just click the description. There is a link there that'll take you to a lesson about gerunds and infinitives. Noun clauses used as subject complements. The name says it all. Something that completes a subject. It is undeniable that climate change is affecting our lives. What is undeniable? That climate change is affecting our lives. So this is giving us more information about the subject. It's actually completing it. You can restate it this way. That climate change is affecting our lives is undeniable. Points to consider about subject complements. A subject complement is a word or phrase used after a linking verb. Remember, it is undeniable, or that climate change is affecting our lives is undeniable. A linking verb is a verb that tells us what the subject is. It doesn't state any action, it just tells us the way things or people are. The list of linking verbs is be, seem, appear, look, smell, taste, feel, sound, become, get, grow, and remain. A subject complement identifies or describes the subject and cannot be removed from the sentence. Like, if you remove this from the sentence, or this, you don't even have a sentence anymore. It is undeniable. What is undeniable? Or is undeniable. What exactly is undeniable? Some noun clauses start with expressions like the fact that, the idea that, the belief that, the evidence that. The fact that she lied to us is still shocking. What's still shocking? The fact that she lied to us. So you see, this is also the subject complement. And in informal language, you can drop the fact, the idea, the belief, etc. And sometimes even the fact that, the idea that. For example, that she lied to us is still shocking. It's the reduced version. Another example, this one's formal. I can't believe the idea that you think everyone should agree with you. The idea that you think. Informal, I can't believe that I've dropped the idea. I can't believe that you think everyone should agree with you. Even more informal, I can't believe you think everyone should agree with you. And finally, noun clauses used as embedded questions. It's like you're asking a question, but not in question format, and there is no question mark used. Like, I can't remember if I locked the door. What I'm implying here, what I'm trying to ask is actually, did I lock the door? Or, I wonder whether she knows. It's not in question form. It doesn't end with a question mark, but it's actually an implied question, an embedded question, like, does she know? And you should never forget that noun clauses are never used in question form, even if they are implying questions. They're always used in statement format, subject, verb, or subject auxiliary verb. Whereas in questions like, does she know? The auxiliary is used before the subject. So this is a very common mistake people make. Please be cautious. It's correct to say, do you remember when she left? But it's incorrect to say, do you remember when did she leave? Never say that. Also, this can help. In every question, you can use the question format only once. It's like you have only one ticket and you can obviously use it once. You can't use two question formats inside the same question. We've used it in do you remember already. The auxiliary is used before the subject. We can't do it in the noun clause. I've prepared a teeny tiny quiz here for you, and you can write the answers in the comments. I'll check them and tell you how many you got right. Question number 1. I need to know you were talking about a person. That's a person. Question number 2. They haven't announced is elected as the representative yet. Again, a person. Question number 3. Do you know sunglasses these are? And question 4, the final question. You look at it, it is a challenging problem. So that's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And also, do not forget to subscribe to my channel and let me know in the comments what you think of the content I'm creating. Don't miss out on my shorts. Take care. See ya. Just like, no, what? Pairing is a verb that is whether to use who or whom. No. Tell me the story. Oh.